Hello and welcome to Black History Icons, the show where we interview some of the most well-known and not so well-known Black people in the entertainment industry. I'm your host, Oprah Winfrey, and today we have two guests that specialize in two very different mediums in entertainment. First off, we have an animation legend. Without him, your favorite cartoons like Justice League, Status Shock, and even Ben 10 wouldn't exist. So without further ado, please give it up for animation legend, Dwayne McDuffie. Mr. McDuffie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, when you started in this industry, what kind of inspired you to become a writer and producer?
Well, starting off, I was actually a writer. I wrote for Marvel Comics for several years. And, as I was working there, I came to notice that there were not many, superheroes that looked like me. Like, they were there, sure, but they were mostly relegated to sidekick roles or side characters. And, I didn't really like that much. It sort of, emphasize the stereotype that we can't head our own shows, So I left, and me and some other people, we formed Milestone Comics, which we dedicated to making people of color at the forefront of their respective comic books, make them their own heroes. So for several years we did that, and eventually we were approached by Warner Brothers to create a TV show for Static Shock. He was one of our more well-known heroes. And that's how that got started. I was not a producer, I was a writer of the show. Warner Brothers, they took over producing it, but I do think that it was a good job of, we did a good job of representing different ethnic groups and showing that they can be heroes too. They didn't have to be just sidekicks.
Thank you so much for being here, Mr. McDuffie. Really appreciate all the work that you've done in animation and also helping to form childhoods for people everywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
March 19, 1962, famed civil rights activist Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to the small and largely unknown Oakwood College. This was understandably a very big deal to people who came from all over to hear the great speaker. Sister school Alabama A&M sent their band to score the occasion. On that day, this very campus was bustling and set ablaze with excitement. These very steps leading to Ashby Auditorium and the surrounding areas were packed full of students, faculty, and community members, all of whom were hungry for change. The content of King's speech on that day was actually very similar to his I Have a Dream speech. It is apparent that these were the testing grounds for the world-changing speech. His words did exactly what they were intended to do. They brought about change. Oakwood students, who were at the time not permitted to participate in any organized sit-ins, began to protest and join the movement. Today, Huntsvillians enjoy a very diverse city. This is largely thanks to Martin Luther King Jr. and Oakwood College for bringing his message to the area. Now back to you, Oprah.
Welcome back to Black History Icons. Joining us today is none other than the Academy Award-winning actress, Halle Berry. Halle, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So let's just get started. When you first started in the industry, did you expect to be a role model for other women of color coming up?
I didn't really expect it to happen to me at first. When I first got here and started acting, I just wanted to be successful in my own right. When I received the Oscar for Best Actress in 2002, however, I realized just how important people like me are to the industry. People like me who push and push until they make it to the top. And as a Black woman, I know what it feels like to work twice as hard to be half as good. So winning that award showed me that I really was a role model to some people, and I try to live up to that. Even when I won my Razzie in 2004, I tried to take that in stride and show Black girls everywhere not to accept that kind of defeat.
So you've been in a lot of movies. Which one would you say was your favorite to be in?
I think that I have more than one movie that's my favorite. I think my time playing Storm in the X-Men franchise was some of the most fun that I've ever had making a movie. The cast was phenomenal, and I had such a great time coming to join and making yet another movie with them. I look back on those movies with so much joy and love. The long days on set, though, putting on that costume and that wig, oh, that wig. It was hard, but being able to play that iconic role was really great, and I'll never take that time for granted.
Well, thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
For me, Black history is everything. It's really empowering to hear these stories of struggles and yet see their outcome of their success despite their color of skin. People like Dwayne and Hallie both had their fair share of hardships, but came out strong on the other side. No matter what we face, remember you are worthy of love and respect. We are all human beings, and we hope the show has given you a little bit of insight. Thank you again for watching.